Hi everyone, welcome back to the second part of the tutorial regarding converting unsupported assets. If in the first one we packed the textures manually and reassigned the shaders and tweaked the materials manually, in this one we will try to automate the process by using converter presets. So, what are these presets? Presets are simple text files that can be opened in any text editor. For instance, I'm using Notepad++ because I managed to do this cool text highlighter. But you can use any text editor that you like. And there are multiple types. We have the converter presets, the ones with the tag preset. We have the override presets, and we have the uh, settings presets which are used by the material settings window. And we also have the include presets which can be included in other presets, something similar to the includes used in the shaders. Okay, I have one of the presets opened on the right side, and this preset is just telling the converter how to set up the meshes, how to convert the materials, and how to pack the textures. If I open the converter and choose that preset, uh, for instance, I have this title called I made it. If I go to the preset and change the title to something else and save it, that title will change. If I go to the advanced settings under the mesh settings, uh, we have the variation source set to channel and is getting channel 0, which is the vertex color red. And you have the same line in the preset, and you can see that it is setting the mesh, it is setting the variation, and it is getting the mask from channel 0. If I change the channel to channel 3 and save it, now the converter will get the variation from the vertex color alpha, which is the third option. You can find all these options and a few examples in the documentation, but you can always open other presets and check how the preset is set. Let's get to the fun part. Let's create a preset to convert this banana tree. I will simply go and select the conversion presets by using this button. And the easiest way to create a new preset is to simply duplicate an existing one. So I will do exactly that. And when you create presets, always copy them to a new folder outside the TV folder, because if you upgrade asset, you don't want to lose that preset. And I will copy it to a new folder, and I will rename it to custom. If I add space dash space, it will create a new category, and I will name it banana. Okay, save the preset, and now if I open the converter, you can go to the custom category, banana. Okay, let's start editing this file. The first thing I will do is to delete everything because I want to start from scratch, and the first thing I will do is to add a new title. If I open the converter and go to that preset, we have a title. So let's simply convert, and of course nothing will happen because we didn't add anything to the preset. The first thing I want to do is to set a color for the materials. But in order to set that color, I need to check how that color is called internally. So if I select the shader, I need to find the main color, which is called main color internally. So I will need to type in material, so the converter knows that we want to convert the material, and I will set the color, which is called main color, to a red color, which in RGB is 1000, or maybe 1. Okay, and save it. And now if I convert again, I don't want to keep the converted materials because I want to reconvert them using the new settings. And I will simply choose no and reconvert. And now the main color is set to that red color. Now, instead of setting that color, let's get the color from the original shaders. I will set one of the colors to green so we can see it better. Okay, and if I select the shader, I can see that the albedo color is called albedo color internally. Okay, so instead of set color, I will change it to get color, actually copy color, and copy the color from uh, albedo color to the main color. Save it again, reconvert again. I won't keep the converted materials. And now the converter is copying the color from the original materials. Next, let's copy the albedo textures from the original materials to the TV materials. As we saw earlier in the previous video, on the original shader, the albedo map is called underscore texture 1. So in the preset, I will type again material, copy text, and we want to copy this underscore texture 1 to the TV albedo, which internally is called underscore main albedo text. Okay, and save the preset, and I will change back this albedo color to white, go back to the converter and convert this prefab again. And now the albedo texture are assigned. Now I will not go and write everything line by line because you will spend time with me until tomorrow. So I will write down the preset and explain it after that. Alright, the preset is mostly done, so let's break it down. I will simply reconvert, and as you can see, I set all the mesh settings, and they are the same as we set them earlier in the previous video manually. Next, for the material, I copy the color to the main albedo. I copy the textures, even if the bump map was set previously. Using this preset, the bump map is not copied. So I had to add the line to copy the bump map to the main albedo, to the main normal text. Now, for the shaders, I used if material float equals. So the original shader subsurface intensity is 1, I want is 0, I want to set this material set shader to default bark. The default bark will simply get this bark standardly shader, and it will change the shader to the bark shader. And for the bark shader, I want to disable the alpha clipping, which internally is called render clip, so I just set it to 0. Uh, for the next part, if the material float is not equal, because I have this little exclamation mark here, I check the subsurface intensity. If it is not 0, then use the default leaf shader, which is the leaf subsurface lit shader, and I want to set the alpha clipping to 1. So we have alpha clipping. For the next part, I'm setting the texture packing we did manually in the previous video. And for the texture, I'm packing the texture called main mask text, which is the main mask in TVE. And I'm setting the red channel of the texture by getting the red channel from metallic smoothness texture. I set the red channel, and again I'm getting the red channel from occlusion, but I can get the green channel or the blue channel because they are the same from the occlusion map. I'm getting the blue channel. I'm setting the blue channel of the texture by getting the red from the subsurface map, and I'm setting the alpha, which is the smoothness, and I'm getting that smoothness from the metallic smoothness map from the alpha channel. And after that I need to add this line utility start texture packing to pack those textures. Say we have multiple presets, and internally some of the code, for instance for the materials and the texture packing, can be shared between them. So what I will do, I will simply duplicate this preset and change the tag from preset to include, and I will change the name to banana commons. Okay, if I open this preset, I will delete the mesh settings and the title, but I will keep only the material settings and save it. And now in our preset, instead of having all these lines over here, I can simply include that banana commons file. So simply include banana commons. Okay, save it, and let's reconvert. And as you can see, everything is working as expected. If I select the preset and duplicate it, and I will change it to banana red, because I want to change the main color to red. So if I open this preset, and if I type in material, set color, main color to 1001, this preset will include the banana commons, which is already copying the colors from the original shader, but it once it gets to this line, it will set the color back to red. I need to close the prefab converter in order to get the new presets. So I will close it, reopen it, and now I can choose banana red. And if I convert, I will not keep the materials, the albedo color will become red. This is an easy way to share code between presets, for instance, in some cases, the same shader is used, but you need to use different mesh settings for different prefabs. For instance, you have a tree and you have a grass, so the mesh settings will be different, but the material and the texture conversion is the same, so you can use includes. One thing to note about includes, nested includes are not supported, so you cannot have includes inside other includes. Talk a bit about conversion overrides. So the overrides are used to only change bits of the conversion. For instance, I'm converting this prefab and it is using the leaf subsurface lit shader. If I want to use the leaf standard lit shader, I would need to go and change the preset, but instead I can use an override. And for instance, I have this override for the shaders to output the materials with standard lit shaders. And now if I convert, the shaders will change from the subsurface lit to the standard lit shaders. So the overrides can be used to simply change only small parts of the preset. The great part about the overrides is that I can set them to global, and if I set that to global, uh, if I go to another preset and open the converter, if I choose a preset for it, for instance, the banana, the override will be, that global override will be assigned automatically to this conversion as well. And if I convert, uh, the shaders will be set to the leaf standard lit shaders. Create an override to change the color from red to green. I will simply go to the overrides. Again, make sure to add them to another folder, but in this case I will simply duplicate one existing one and set this override to green. So we will want to change the color of these three to green. I will open the override and it uses the same code as the presets, and I will copy this line from the preset, from the red preset, add it here, and I want to change it to green. Okay, and save this override. And now if I select this prefab, open the converter, uh, I will add another override to set the color to green. And now I will convert and don't I don't want to keep the materials, but reconvert again. And, the color is set to green. Now if I want to set it to blue and save it, if I convert again and keep the materials will not be converted. So it will keep the converted materials. In order to use overrides and override the settings for the converted materials, if we choose to keep the converted materials, we need to add a new line called utility use material post-processing. Post-processing and save it. And when using the material post-processing, it will use the lines that are added after this utility, even if you choose to keep the converted materials. So let's convert again, keep the converted materials, but that override is now added. Small note, use material post-processing is only available starting with TV 6.3. Cool stuff, huh? So, if you ever create some presets for some assets from the Unity Asset Store, feel free to share them. If you are an Asset Store developer and you are creating vegetation, you can also include presets for TV, and TV will detect them. I'm just saying. So that's about it. Presets are quite powerful. You can do a lot of things with them. Make sure to check the documentation about the presets, and thanks again for watching.